Hello dear viewers, we welcome you to this edition of the News in English on Rwanda Television with me, Serge Nhore. Let us begin with the headlines. President Paul Kagame has posted a message on the social media platform X expressing his condolences following the passing of Tito Mboweni. Officials from Rwanda's Ministry of Health and its partners have held a press conference in Kigali on the progress being made in stopping the spread of the Marburg virus disease. And on the international scene, China and the African Union have agreed to work together on the promotion of renewable energy on the continent. Now the details. As we just noted in the headlines, President Paul Kagame has posted a message on the social media platform X expressing his condolences following the passing of Tito Mboweni. The president wrote, and I quote, "I send my deepest condolences to the family and friends of Tito Mboweni and to President Ramaphosa and the government of South Africa. Tito Mboweni was a giant voice for Africa and a champion of continental integration. His counsel was invaluable in the effort of reforming the African Union, and in recent years he dedicated his energy to implementing the reform as chair of the AU Peace Fund. His legacy will live on for generations to come." End of quote. Tito Titus Mboweni served as the Minister of Finance of South Africa from 2018 to 2021. He was also the 8th governor of the South African Reserve Bank and the first black South African to hold the post from 1999 to 2009. Again, as we noted in the headlines, the World Health Organization has appreciated the efforts and measures that Rwanda continues to put in the fight against the Marburg virus and affirms that they are yielding tangible results. The World Health Organization has also noted that travel and trade restrictions are ineffective and unnecessary for the fight against this outbreak. Adam Squizera with more.
In a press conference with the Ministry of Health and its partners about the Marburg virus, the Ministry of Health expressed that there is hope that the virus will end soon, as explained by Minister Dr. Sabin Sansimana.
This vaccine, as we explained last time, is a vaccine that has been developed for the past many years. And the first phase of vaccine development looks at safety of the vaccine, which is phase 1 of the trial vaccine development. So this vaccine has already moved into phase 2 of the vaccine, which is an efficacy phase, which is different from the safety, which is on phase 1. So for those who receive the vaccines, of course, the vaccine will give you some immune building when you had it. The doctors you talked about, all vaccine we received, immediately after or day after, you may have some body reaction to it. If is that the concern, it's normal for all vaccines, but at least assuring on the safety of vaccine study before it gets into humans or in the first phase of human development, that has been already reported, and science is available on that.
Dr. Brian Chirombo, the WHO representative in Rwanda, appreciated the efforts and measures that Rwanda continues to put in place in preventing the Marburg virus, has also noted that travel and trade restrictions are ineffective and unnecessary for the control of the ongoing outbreak of Marburg virus.
WHO advises against any level of travel restrictions or trade restrictions also with Rwanda, especially in the context of the ongoing Marburg outbreak. At this time, those restrictions we know are actually not effective, and also they are not necessary for us to be able to control the ongoing outbreak. It's not going to control any risks that are there for the outbreak to spread, because the initiatives already being taken by government and other partners to contain the outbreak are enough for us to be able to do that. So it's not necessary, according to the World Health Organization, and actually it's potentially harmful to the affected societies and also to economies. Travel and trade restrictions actually can act as a disincentive, not only for Rwanda but for other countries to share information. Rwanda shared their information on the outbreak early. They have been working on the outbreak. They've been working with WHO and partners. So it's important not to have restrictions, because that can then have a counter, it can actually harm the outbreak responses.
The Ministry of Health announced that Rwanda has received an additional 1,000 doses of Marburg vaccine, supplementing 700 doses received the previous week. Over 600 people, primarily medical workers, have already been vaccinated. Recently, Dr. Jean Kaseya, the Director General of the Africa CDC, advised against travel and trade restrictions with Rwanda in the context of the ongoing Marburg virus disease outbreak. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.
In ordaining the head of the Presbyterian Church in the Western Province, the church's administration has affirmed that it will continue to collaborate with the government in citizens' development programs, mainly the development of the family unit. Prince Manzi with more.
The ordained priest of the Rubengera Presbyterian Church is Pastor Vincent Musabyimana. He ensures to support family safety and development. The first thing is the citizens' welfare, which is supported by the Word of God, because the Good Spirit lives in a fit body. I will work hard for the family's safety, lacking conflicts, developed and self-reliant. The Rubengera Presbyterian Parish encompasses Karongi, Rusizi, Nyamasheke, Rutsiro and Ngororero districts. The church also collaborates with the government in various sectors including education and health. Mostly they support ladies who give birth outside the wedlock and are supported to not feel lost in society as their families sometimes reject them. They are trained in TVETs and supported emotionally. They paid fees for my 2 children and provide with them school materials. One is a university lecturer currently, and the other lives in the US. They were both supported by the church. The president of the Presbyterian Church in Rwanda, Pastor Pasco Wataringaya, assigned the ordained priest to ensure citizens' good welfare and spiritual development. The message given to him is to teach the gospel that changes their lives and provide principles witnessed here on earth. For their development and the joy to be found in heavens, citizens start to benefit it here on earth. Partners and other levels will collaborate to develop the church and the nation. The Vice Mayor of the Karongi district, Pascazi Muhoza, affirms the government's support in the church's development. We appreciate the collaboration we usually have towards citizens' development in sectors of education and health. Education starts in the families. When families are in harmony with the help of local governance and church, at the end, we have responsible citizens. The Rubengera Presbyterian Church has over 30 schools and over 40 other schools are being constructed in help with the government and the World Bank. This adds to other various investments of this church at large in this region.
Thank you, Prince, for that report. Now, investors in the floral industry here in Rwanda have praised the fact that the UK has temporarily removed export tariffs for cut flowers with the aim of making trade with the UK easier and cheaper for growers in East Africa and beyond. Adam Squizera with more.
In April this year, the UK government decided to temporarily remove export tariffs for cut flowers with the aim of making trade with the UK easier and cheaper for growers in East Africa and beyond. Wambua Bernard Muthoka, sales manager at Bella Flowers Limited, highlighted that Rwanda's flower exports to the UK market have seen significant growth since tax removal. Prior to the tax removal, the company was exporting 20,000 flowers per week, but now the number has surged to 200,000 flowers weekly, marking an increase of 180,000 flowers.
Going by what the market science shows, we will benefit a lot, and I'm expecting also this figure of 200,000 to go higher, because it was like market where we had not exhausted, but due to the introduction of these tariff cuts, and now we've seen the potential, and we are making all what is possible to make sure we utilize and maximize the opportunity that we've got from the tax tariff cut from the government of UK.
For each kilo of flowers, they pay 1.8 USD for transportation in the Rwanda and 1.9 USD in Ethiopian Airlines, while in the KLM costs 3.5 USD per kilo of flowers. However, other small flower sellers face difficulties in accessing international markets due to their inability to organize bulk shipments. Many of them end up selling flowers domestically instead of taking advantage of international opportunities.
You can pay the same amount when you're sending, for example, 5 tons. When you're sending 1 ton, same amount. So working as a team and sending as a team can make more money, and also the market. The demand is high. Sometimes you find the demand is high, but you cannot supply what is needed. So still, which means when you're a team, you can supply what is needed. I've been sending to Netherlands, but of recent I'm not sending. I do not have the enough quantity to send, which means, for example, those people who are in summer flowers, we have to work as a team. If it is sending summer flowers, we send in quantity so that at least we can gain some profit. Otherwise, if you of it, the paperwork, the transportation, the tax, we end up in a loss, and so you end up not sending flowers, exporting.
In 2023, the value of trade in cut flowers between the UK from Ethiopia was valued £12.6 million, Rwanda £707,000, £839,000 from Tanzania, and £1.1 million from Uganda. Wambua Bernard Muthoka, sales manager at Bella Flowers, noted that a third of their flower production is sold at the domestic market and often a better price than in foreign markets.
There is no difference. What we are selling in Europe and what we are selling here locally, the price is almost the same, because when I remove freight charges and other costs related to export, packaging material, boxes, a lot of we use other flower foods. If I remove all the expenses to the flowers that we export, the price is the same. The only problem is the local market cannot consume our production, our total production, unlike Europe, which takes a lot. But in terms of prices, they are the same.
The duty suspension will remain in place for 2 years from 11th April 2024 to 30th June 2026. In the fiscal year 2022-2023, Rwanda exported flowers worth of $4.5 million to the United Kingdom, Netherlands, Korea, and other international markets. At least 66% of the exports were designated to the Netherlands, while 32% went to UK. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.
Now, as the Customer Service Week initiative comes to an end, citizens have been expressing their concerns regarding delays and inefficiencies in service delivery. We have the details with William Evans Mutabazi.
At daybreak, many Rwandans set out to seek for services in different sectors, yet at the same time, others are on the move to deliver to the best expectations of their customers. Beyond Customer Service Week celebrations, we reached out to some of these service seekers and those who offer these services to hear their personal experiences. We experience extended waiting times at most healthcare facilities. You can arrive here as early as 7 a.m. only to leave at 4 p.m., which is almost 9 hours plus later. Lab tests take longer processes, carrying out and getting the results too, yet we still have no option but to unpleasantly wait. His frustrations and sentiments over the lengthy delays are echoed by fellow residents, Eileen and Janvier, who highlight ongoing challenges with healthcare efficiency, particularly in government-run institutions. There are incidents where you go to a hospital early enough for laboratory tests, and instead of the doctor on duty assisting you, they are busy taken up by their phones. Yet, the queues of waiting patients keep growing, and some of them big cases involving sick children. People go to hospitals because they are sick and seeking for medical assistance, not because they are willing or have nothing else to do. If the challenge is with the labor force, then these hospitals can ask for more labor from those responsible so that people can get help quickly and go back to other things. Local officials of Kagugu acknowledge that there remains a considerable gap in meeting citizens' expectations, but they said they're making effort to enhance service delivery despite the high demand. We are still lacking in terms of the workforce, so increasing the number would help us deliver better services. However, a lesser workforce should not be an excuse for poor service delivery. Our people should not fail to get the assistance they desire owing to this. Similar issues persist in the private sector, with notable examples in telecommunication companies. Queues of people seeking services are often long and consistent, week in, week out, causing residents to lose significant time waiting, with some customers saying it sometimes takes days to get assistance. The right question should have been, how many days have I waited? Because this is my second time here. Queuing for 8 hours plus is not easy, especially for old men and women. Sometimes we also have pregnant mothers, and we can't find anywhere to sit. Several players in the private sector acknowledge the pressing need for service improvement across the board and tackle some of the root causes of poor service delivery, especially in the private sector, and the way forward. Most times, the problem is bad management or simply not valuing customers. People in customer care services should note that in actual sense, a customer is a king and must be treated like one. We are all not the same, but I personally desire that a customer should be satisfied with whatever service they get. It pains me seeing someone seek a service only to get disappointed, yet they had many other alternatives. As a customer service giver, you are failing not only yourself, but also the entire sector. Those sleeping should wake up, and together we should shift our mindsets and look at service delivery as a key sector that will immensely boost our tourism sector. We must therefore give high standard services to our customers to outperform all our competitors and in the end attract more tourists here. Customer Service Week originated in the United States in 1984. Today, Customer Service Week serves not only as a time to celebrate customer service representatives, but also an opportunity for organizations to reflect on their customer service practices and strive for continuous improvement. William Evans, Mutabazi, RwandaTV News.
The National Child Development Agency has emphasized its commitment to eradicating malnutrition and child stunting through several key initiatives. These include the provision of new nutritional supplements, particularly targeted at women to ensure proper maternal and child health, and the establishment of early childhood development centers for children under the age of 2. Adams Kwizera with more.
Niumfasha Christine, a resident of Gacharagenji sector in Kamunyi district, discovered that her child was suffering from malnutrition, which she attributed to her own lack of awareness regarding to proper nutrition. For example, I was able to find milk, eggs and fruits, but due to poor understandings, I used to sell all those instead of first feeding my child. Mukakazungu Beatrice experienced a similar situation, discovering that her child was malnourished despite having access to all necessary foods for a balanced diet. I cultivate potatoes, maize, and beans. I even had milk, but I wasn't able to think how crucial it is to feed my child that balanced diet. According to the 2020 demographic and health surveys, districts that are strong in agriculture and livestock production found some of the highest numbers of stunted and malnourished children. You may have food but not be able to know how to prepare it for a balanced diet. Community health workers play a vital role in monitoring and addressing malnutrition and child stunting in Rwanda. Acting Head of Nutrition and Hygiene Department at National Child Development Agency (NCDA), Agnes Wineza, says that some of the measures taken to eradicate this issue. We are putting significant efforts into emphasizing the importance of a balanced diet for pregnant mothers. We teach them how to effectively use the food they have to prepare nutritious meals. Additionally, we are focusing on educating teenagers and raising awareness about the significance of providing 1 egg per child.
Ni gahunda hari ubukangurambaga tufite bwigira imwe ku mwana buri munsi.
The National Child Development Agency (NCDA) reported significant progress in reducing child stunting in Rwanda. In 2005, 51% of children were identified as stunted, but efforts over the years have led to an annual decrease of 1.2%. The target is to lower stunting rate to 19% by 2024, with an ambitious goal of further reducing it to 15% among children under 5 years by 2029.
Welcome back. And on the international scene, news that China and the African Union have agreed to work together on the promotion of renewable energy on the continent. The following report, courtesy of CCTV.
China and the African Union have agreed to jointly promote the development of renewable energy in Africa by strengthening policy dialogues, technological exchanges, and project cooperation there. The announcement took place at the promotion event held in Beijing on Thursday, attended by high-level officials, diplomats, and energy experts. The event highlighted the solid achievements of the two sides' energy partnership. A report on China renewable energy development was also released. Participants say cooperation between China and Africa in the field of renewable energy holds great significance. And in the future, exchanges and cooperation between the two sides at a policy level will be boosted. Construction projects and financial investment are also expected to grow.
中非可再生能源合作属于互有需要。
China-Africa Renewable Energy Cooperation is a strategic partnership characterized by mutual needs, complementary advantages, and shared opportunities. We will actively promote the implementation of renewable energy projects by enhancing policy dialogues, planning research, strengthening technical exchanges and capacity building, as well as advancing pragmatic cooperation throughout various projects.
The China Renewable Energy Development Report is the first specialized report focusing on China-Africa clean energy cooperation. It summarizes the major achievements and challenges in the field of clean energy cooperation between China and Africa over the past decade. It was jointly conducted by the Institute, the African Union Development Agency, and several international think tanks, making it very objective. Facing new circumstances, both sides are in their best historical periods and will undoubtedly strengthen cooperation to achieve even greater success in the clean energy sector.
It's key for leveraging or supporting the sustainable development process in Africa. In my opinion, to leverage these opportunities, both sides need to work diligently to ensure mutually benefit partnership. It's important to avail very conducive environment, policy, regulatory framework, not only to promote the energy and power generation, but also to support also trade in energy, benefiting from the implementation.
And that report brings us to the end of our edition. But before we go, let us once again take a look at the headlines. President Paul Kagame has posted a message on the social media platform X expressing his condolences following the passing of Tito Mboweni. Officials from Rwanda's Ministry of Health and its partners have held a press conference in Kigali on the progress being made in stopping the spread of the Marburg virus disease. And as we just saw, China and the African Union have agreed to work together on the promotion of renewable energy on the continent. Here's to hoping that you have a great week ahead of you, and I hope I'll see you soon again. Goodbye.